Hello YouTube, Bandit here, back again with another Diablo 3 video. I'm a little bit bundled up today because here in Florida it has been extremely unusually cold, and I don't know how it is where the rest of you folks are at, but I was born and raised in Florida and it's pretty cold today, so I'm staying warm while we're making this video. But the main reason for this video, I do have some news that will warm your heart and make you all happy and warm and fuzzy feeling inside. Blizzard today released a first look at patch 2.2.0. And it's funny because we were just talking about this the other day with some people. And I didn't think it would be coming this soon, but it looks like they're true Blizzard fashion. They're keeping everybody interested and involved in Diablo 3. So this video is basically just going to go over the things that they're looking to add in patch 2.2, and we'll just go ahead and cover that. Now keep in mind that some of this stuff is subject to change. They might add things, they might remove things. It's all up in the air at this point. They're just kind of letting us know the things that we have to look forward to. Obviously we'll be able to test it in the PTR as well. So we'll head on over here to our Diablo 3 website, first look at patch 2.2, and we'll just go over some of the things that they're listed right here on the site that I'll go ahead and leave a link in the description below that you can check out for yourself. If you are as excited as I am about this, you can see here in the table of contents they've listed some legendary updates, adventure mode updates, class updates, quality of life updates, and then a little disclaimer, as I had mentioned, that any of this is really subject to change. So we'll get right into it here. You'll see legendary updates. We've got 3 new 6-piece gear sets that they're going to be adding for 2.2. And they said that their main goal for this patch is to introduce more sets that could compete with the most powerful ones currently in the game, which is fine with me because I get some comments on videos sometimes, particularly Wizard videos, that are saying, you know, Firebird is the best. Unfortunately, there's no other things. It doesn't look like any of these particular ones have anything to do with the Wizard. But there are some people who are unhappy with the things, you know, there only being one 6-piece set, you know, for each one that's usually just really overpowered. So they're going to be adding some new ones, and this is also exciting for me because, you know, if you've been playing the game for a while, you're going to be looking for stuff to add some excitement to your Diablo time, and it looks like that's what they're going to be doing here, especially if you've got these characters. You'll have a couple of characters here that you'll be able to grind and do some more rifts and get some gear for. So they're going to be debuting 3 new 6-piece sets in patch 2.2, the Unhallowed Essence, Wrath of the Wastes, and Delcere's Magnum Opus. And that one sounds pretty awesome. I almost feel like the word Magnum in there, I halfway expect to see, you know, dual-wielding revolvers or something from the Demon Hunter. But you'll be able to take these items for a spin in the PTR, it says, and Wrath of the Waste case, literally. So the Wrath of the Waste here, this is going to be a barbarian build, it looks like. And it kind of reminds me of the Marauder set for the Demon Hunter, just the way that the detailing in the armor looks like a roided up, amped up Marauder set for the Demon Hunter. So, but it still looks pretty cool. Nice little red cape there for you, for those of you who are fans of capes. There's that, and then you got a big old barefoot or something like that, it looks like down here. So there's one for you barbarians out there. This one looks like it could be a Demon Hunter. This one, I imagine, will be the Unhallowed Essence. And then we've got this one here, which will be Delcere's Magnum Opus. And at first I looked at this, I thought it might be a wizard, but now that I'm looking at it, the sexy bodied woman here, it looks more like it'll be a Demon Hunter build. I could be wrong, but we'll have a couple of, at least one new set piece for the Demon Hunter that we'll be able to run some different builds with. Things like that. Hopefully they'll be as good, if not better, than the Marauders, but I don't see how we could get much better than that. Also down here it says, in addition, we're redesigning and in some cases adding bonuses to the existing set, like the Zunimasa's Haunt, that's for your Witch Doctor, the Raiment of 1,000 Storms, Roland's Legacy, which I noticed that, and that's a pretty big deal, because I have all the Roland set, but I just think it's a really crappy build, so if they're going to be making some changes to that, I welcome that. Talrash's Elements, there's one for the Wizard, Ina's Mantra, and Natalia's Vengeance, one for the Demon Hunter, and the Immortal King's Call, which I believe here is going to be for the Barbarian. And this means a grand total of 10 new or revamped playstyles to try out. So there we go. We'll roll through those one more time so you can see those. This is pretty exciting stuff. I'm sure a lot of people are most excited about that. And then we're going to scroll down a little bit here and we'll see they've got some new legendary item powers. Sets aren't the only new items you'll see in patch 2.2. We're also adding over 15 new legendary powders powers in the form of legendary gems, armor, rings, and more, as well as updates to existing lighting. So right here we'll click on these seismic treads. You'll see here that their legendary ability Ground Stomp causes an avalanche. So for you barbarians out there, that'll be something that you can look forward to. And here we have Gauntlets of the Rain. Rain of Vengeance deals 84% increased damage, which I remember Rain of Vengeance was something that I used to use quite a bit when I first started and was gearing up. Really good skill to have. And with this, it'll probably make some Rain of Vengeance skills much more viable to use if you can get your hand on some of these gloves. I did notice that it was listed as strength there instead of dexterity, but I'm sure that's just, a little sample picture of what we can be expecting with that. And then it also says among these new legendary powders include the one that you, the community, apparently helped create during the BlizzCon Legendary Workshop. I don't know anything about this, so I have no idea what it could be. And it says we're still finalizing the details and the names and all that, so they'll basically just let us know what we could be expecting there. Next up, we've got adventure mode updates. Now this will be it looks like they're doing some new map layouts. It says if you've been playing Nephilim Rifts, Greater Rifts, you may feel like you've seen them all. I definitely feel like that from time to time. It's just kind of boring and drab. You've seen everything there is to see. It says you'll begin seeing some new Rift tile sets based on the Fields of Misery and Festering Woods from Act 1, the Stinging Winds from Act 2, and the Fields of Slaughter from Act 3. It says their map layouts are randomized as well, so they'll look different every time you play. And then below it shows you two of the map layouts. This first one here, it says it's a randomization of the Stinging Winds, so we'll take a look at that there. A lot of these wide open maps, even though they're not my favorite, especially if you're not very well geared, a lot of the times you'll just have enemies coming at you from all directions instead of just going kind of down a straightaway, having everything in front of you. But usually these maps have a lot of density, which will allow you to clear your rifts and greater rifts relatively quickly. So that one's a randomization of Stinging Winds, and this one here is based on the Festering Woods. So another high density map, hopefully, that will be able to get us through our greater rifts and rifts very quickly. And new bounties as well. If you're a fan of adventure mode, you'll be happy to hear that soon you'll have over 20 new bounties to discover in Acts 2, 4, and 5. And they're also introducing a new type of bounty to the game, which is called Exploration. And it says, as the name implies, these new bounties involve exploring an area and finding people who need to be rescued, if they're good guys, or slain if they are not. And you'll see 14 bounties of this type across all acts in the game. Now, whether doing an exploration as opposed to a bounty will yield different gear, different results, anything like that is yet to be seen, so we'll just have to be on the lookout, try it in the PTR, see if there's anything special or any kind of benefit that we'll be getting from this exploration mode that they'll be adding in 2.2. You see here we go to class updates, and it says unlike some of the previous patches, 2.2 will not have as large a focus on changes to class skills, which is fine because for the characters I have, they seem to be okay as of right now. But we'll see how they decide to change them once 2.2 drops. And it says that most of the changes to the skills will be relatively minor, and they're going to be aimed more at fine-tuning current, balance, and providing synergy with some of the new legendary powers mentioned above. So some of these changes, it says, will include directly buffing certain skills like the Crusader's Punish skill and the Witch Doctor's Fetish Sycophants, which is a pretty big deal. A lot of Witch Doctor builds use that Fetish Sycophant skill, so it'll be interesting to see how they're going to buff that to make it even better. They say buff, so it means it's going to be better, so I imagine it'll be a higher percentage to spawn fetishes, maybe more fetishes will spawn. Who knows, but only time will tell. And it says they'll also be implementing some quality of life improvements, like adding an icon that shows the number of active sentries for the Demon Hunter, for example. And it says that class balance is an ongoing endeavor, however, so it is likely that changes will continue to be made and tweaked throughout the course of the PTR. Just another little disclaimer there that things can and probably will change. Now for our quality of life updates, we're going to have some new goblins. They added quite a few goblins to 2.1.2, and it looks like we're getting even more now. It says, for those of you who never tire of hunting these treasure goblins, we're introducing 3 brand new ones. The first one's going to be the Gelatinous Sire, and it's going to split into smaller goblins, which I kind of like that they tell us what they're going to do, because I don't believe in the last patch notes for 2.1.2 they did. They were just like, here's the goblins that we're going to be getting. Once the PTR rolled around, we knew what they were going to do, but for this first wave of notes here, it's cool that they're telling us. For our second one here, the Gilded Baron, it helps satisfy your never-ending greed for gold, so I imagine it's just going to drop a crap ton of gold for you, which I'm always okay with. The more gold, the better, if you ask me. And the Insufferable Miscreant has friends to help him run interference. And this is our guy here. Apparently it's kind of, maybe it'll be kind of like you get those big packs of goblins, so maybe it'll just be this guy. He's gonna have a bunch of other little goblin friends, maybe basic goblins around to help him get his treasure back to the treasure realm. But it is unlikely because all of us playing Diablo are super beasts and we never let goblins escape. Some less interesting things, I mean, they might be cool once they drop, but we've got a new cosmetics window as well. Says you want to take your Spectral Hound for a romp around Sanctuary without worrying about taking up valuable inventory space? Well, now you can. So basically, what this is, it's going to have some kind of window here, and it looks like it's going to have all of your little Paragon portraits that you can maybe choose from. And a lot of those people who run around with those cool wings that I wasn't, unfortunately, able to get my hands on because I didn't start playing this game when it first dropped. But it looks like you'll be able to have a little storage space, so to speak, for those items so they aren't taking up your inventory space. I would love to get one myself. If they want to add a new pair of awesome green angel wings for me, I would gladly buy them even. And I could store them here in our little cosmetic window. And it also mentions a new file system, the CASC. It says that some of you may be interested in this. Blizzard games have used a file format called the MOPAC, or the MPQ for short. It's a way to compress and store file games. Now they're switching to something called the CASC, the Content Addressable Storage Container. And it says this new file format has lots of improvements that directly benefit players, including a self-maintaining file structure, which helps prevent errors during installation, which I've never encountered myself, a faster and more reliable patching process, the ability to hotfix game client data, and a whole lot more. And then they add as a little note down here that patch 2.2 will also include several additional fixes, quality of life enhancements, and other changes not listed above. We're eager to hear your thoughts and feedbacks as you try out the patch, and I encourage you guys, there's a ton of people down here in the comments getting out ideas, things like that, so if there's anything, like we'll see here, plus 164 upvotes, please raise the blood shard limit and add auto pickup of crafting materials. Now, and then he says, talk about the 2 biggest quality of life changes, and we are still waiting for it. I am absolutely on board with this. If I was signed into this website right now, I would upvote that. They definitely need to. I get tired of, having to go, especially when you're getting these blood shard goblins and everything. You'll be at 450 blood shards, and I'm on my Demon Hunter doing some quick torment riffs, but I really want to spend it on my wizard, so I have to waste all of my blood shards for my Demon Hunter, which I really don't need too much gear for, when I'd rather spend it on my wizard, and it just seems kind of a waste. So if they even upped it to 1,000, 1,500, maybe even a limitless amount, I'll spend 3 hours a night rifting, and go spend them all at the end of the night and see what I got. So that's definitely one of the biggest changes I'd like to see. Who knows if they're going to do it or not, but only time will tell. And I'm really looking forward to trying this patch. Alright guys, that's it for me. That's the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you are looking forward and as excited about patch 2.2 as I am. If you are looking forward to the new patch, and you did enjoy the video, please feel free to hit that like button below. Also, if you have any ideas or suggestions for anything that they could buff, nerf, add, take away to the game to make your game time on Diablo more enjoyable, please feel free to drop me a comment down below. I'm always interested to see what ideas that all of you have out there. Also, to keep up to date on all future Diablo 3 videos, builds, guides, information, all that good stuff, please subscribe. You don't want to miss out on any of this upcoming information for this new patch. It's going to be an exciting one. And I also want to take the time to thank everybody who has subscribed, past and present. I just recently hit 1,200 subscribers, roughly, and I'm growing every day. And I want to thank you guys for making that possible, and all the kind words and likes and everything that you leave in the comments. You know, I come home from work, sit down, read my YouTube comments, find out that somebody really found my Demon Hunter build video helpful. It makes it all worth it. So thank you again, guys, and I'm going to keep doing my best to bring you new builds and new information, updates, and things like that. So that's it. Until next time, guys, as always, y'all stay beastin'. Peace out.